This video is about section 9 on your review, using the law of sines and the law of cosines. 9a, we are told the following information. We have triangle ABC. Angle A measures 37.6 degrees. Side A is 8.91. Side B is 7.43. And we want to find angle C. To find angle C, the easiest way to do it is to find angle B using the law of sines. So I will say the sine of 3.76 over 8.9 equals the sine of B over 7.43. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply both sides by 7.43. So I have 7.43 times the sine of 37.6 divided by 9, or 8.91, which is 0.51. And then I need to do the inverse sine of that. And since this isn't a special ratio, I'll have to use my calculator. So angle B can equal 30.58 degrees. And remember, the sine is positive in 2 quadrants, so angle B could also equal 180 minus 30.58, which is 149.42. And I want to check and make sure this second angle will work. Since the second option for B is 149.42, and we know A has to measure 37.46, this won't work because those two add up to be bigger than 180. So I only have one triangle here. Angle C is going to be the value of 180 minus 37.6 minus 30.58, which is 111.82 degrees. For 9b, I know that angle C is 122. I know that side B is 119. And I know that side A is 68.3. And I want to find side C. This is a direct application of the law of cosines. C squared is going to equal 119 squared plus 68.3 squared minus 2 times 119 times 68.3 times the cosine of 122. And I can literally just pop this in my calculator. 119 squared plus 68.3 squared minus 2 times 119 times 68.3 times the cosine of 122. So C squared equals 27,439.9. And then I'll have to square root that. Remember, whenever you square root equations, to solve, you do plus or minus, but since we're dealing with a measurement here, we don't care about the negative. So 165.5 is my, or 0.65 is my answer for that. And C. I have ABC. I know all of the sides of this triangle. Side A is 14.6. Side B is 21.7 and side C is 24.3. And I want to find angle B. Since I want to find angle B, I'm going to put 21.7 on the side by itself. So it's 21.7 squared equals 20. 24.3 squared plus 14.6 squared minus 24.3 times 14.6 times the cosine of b. Again, I put side b by itself because that allows me to solve for angle b. 21.7 squared is 470.89. And I can combine the two squared terms together. 24.3 squared plus 14.6 squared, which is 803.65. And then I can multiply the 24.3, and the 14.6 together to give me 709.56. And that's still multiplied by the cosine of b. Remember, it's a common mistake to try to add all of these numbers together when you can't do that. So then I'll subtract 470.89 minus 803.65 to get negative 332.76. Then I'll divide both sides by 709.56, and I get negative 0.468. And then I'll do the inverse cosine of that to get 117.97 degrees. Sorry, this should be a subtraction symbol. Here and here. So that's a positive. So my angle is going to be 62.03. For 9D, I know that angle B is 41.9. I know that side B is 6.73. And I know that side C is 5.69. And I want to find the value of A. Again, to find the value of A, it'll be easiest to find the value of C and subtract from 180. So I can apply the law of sines here. The sine of 41.9 over 6.73 will equal the sine of C over 5.69. And I'll multiply both sides by 5.69. And I can punch this in my calculator to get the decimal. 5.69 times the sine of 41.9 divided by 6.73 to get 0.56 equals the sine of C. And I'll take the inverse sine of 0.53 or 56 to get 34.38 degrees for one measure of C. And the other measure of C will be 180 minus that, which is 145.62. And I believe 145.62 is going to be too big, because if I add that to 41.9, it ends up being bigger than 180. So my answer for C is 34.38. So then to find A, I'll do 180 and subtract 34.38 and subtract 41.9. And my answer is 103.72 degrees. 9E. I know that angle A is 131 degrees. I know that side C is 127, and I know that side B is 179.2. I want to find side A, which is this side right here. This is, again, a direct application of the law of cosine. So A squared is going to equal 127 squared plus 79.2 squared minus 2 times 127 times 79.2 times the cosine of 131. And I can punch this in my calculator exactly like I see it, and that'll get me a value of A squared. 127 squared plus 79.2 squared minus 2 times 127 times 79.2 times the cosine of 131. So A squared equals 35,599.4. And then I'll square root both sides to get 188.67. And the last one for section 9F. Again, I have all three sides, A, B, C. I know that A is 15.1, I know B is 28.2, and I know C is 36.7. And I want to find angle C. So if I want to find angle C, I'm going to keep side C isolated. 367 squared equals 51.2 squared plus 28.2 squared minus 2 times 15.1 times 28.2 times the cosine of C. I can do some evaluating. 36.7 squared is 1,346.89. And I can combine these two square numbers together, 15.1 squared plus 28.2 squared, to get 1,023.25, and I can multiply these numbers together, the 2, the 15.1, and the 28.2. Again, don't make the mistake of trying to combine all of these numbers together right away, because you cannot. Now I'll move the 1,023.25 over. To get 323.64. And I'll divide by the negative 80 or 851.64. And then I'll do the inverse cosine. And to get 112.34 degrees.